In this example, you're asked to verify the identity secant theta minus cosine theta is equal to sine squared theta over cosine theta. One of the keys when you're verifying identities is to remember that the task here is to transform one side of the equation into the other side of the equation. We should start by writing just one side of this equation. The rule of thumb is to start by writing the more complicated side. Which there's maybe not a clear, more complicated side in this problem, but I'm going to start from the left-hand side. So I'm going to start by writing down just, like I said, just the left-hand side, secant theta minus cosine theta. My task is to rewrite this and show every step of how this works. Rewrite it so that it turns into sine squared over cosine theta. Showing every single step along the way. So what I would note first, if I'm trying to transform this into this, is that there's no subtraction over here. So I need to actually perform the subtraction over here on the left side. So let me rewrite this. We can change the secant to 1 over cosine. And since I've written that in fraction form, I'm going to write the cosine theta as cosine theta over 1. So I'm looking at two fractions. I want to combine those. I want to perform the subtraction. To do that, I need a common denominator, which is going to be cosine theta. So I'm going to multiply the denominator and the numerator over here by cosine theta. So that doesn't change this expression right here. It's just another way to express it. This way, both of the denominators are cosine theta, so I can write a single fraction with cosine theta in the denominator. The numerator will be 1 from this first fraction minus cosine times cosine, so cosine squared from that second part. Okay, now here's where it's good to have all of the identities in your head. If you remember that sine squared theta plus cosine squared theta equals 1, then you might remember that an alternate form of that equation is sine squared theta equals 1 minus cosine squared theta. If I just move the cosine squared over, and I'm sorry, that's pretty illegible, but that's there saying 1 minus cosine squared is equal to sine squared. So I could change this numerator right here into sine squared so that this becomes sine squared theta over cosine theta, which is the right side of that equation.